It's July 25th, time for another edition of Rick Answers His Email. This first one's up is from Essie, who wants to know how to get rid of Firefox off her computer, and she's using Windows Vista. Essie, just go to your control panel. Under the Program section, you'll see this option here that says Uninstall a Program. Click it, and it'll bring up a list of your programs, and you can remove Firefox. Not sure why you want to get rid of it, but that's how you do it. This question is from Anne, and it's a common question. She's getting a forwarded email, or someone sending her an email with an attachment, and it has a .email extension. And what that is some people, when they send their email, commonly it's with older systems, that when they forward an email message, it attaches the email instead of puts it in line. And what the difference is that you can see the message in the body, or if you have to click an attachment. And if you're using a web-based service like MSN or the Juno web-based, or again AOL, chances are you are not going to be able to read these particular types of emails. You can save that attachment to your desktop and then open it with Notepad and be able to read the text part of the message, but if it had any kind of pictures or video or anything else attached to it, you're not going to be able to see that. Bob is trying to send pictures via email using an article that I had regarding Windows XP at helpmerick.com, and it has the little option over on the left hand side to email pictures, but he says his email does not pop up when he tries to do it. You didn't tell me what email program you're using. If you're using Outlook Express or Mozilla Thunderbird, it should come up. If you're using a web-based service like Gmail, Yahoo, things like that, that will not work with that technique. And if you want to be able to send emails easily, try Picasa instead at picasa.com. Renee's using an Asus EPC apparently with Windows XP, and she says she's deleted the program to get on the internet. And I'm not sure what you're referring to, because if you're just trying to get online with wireless with a little EPC and you're using Windows XP, you should just have a little icon in the lower right hand corner that has the single computer with a little waves next to it. That's the icon for wireless in Windows XP, and you can click it there, or you can go, if you've lost that icon, go to Start, go to My Computer, then on the left hand side click My Network Places, and under My Network Places click View Network Connections, and you'll be able to connect that way as well. Good luck. Anne is saying that her upgrade to 3.5 was not a good upgrade on Firefox, and she wants to go back and reinstall the 3.0. I wouldn't recommend that, and you can do that by going to firefox.com or download.com, probably is a better place to go, and you can download the previous version of Firefox. But I think that if you reinstall 3.5, if there's a problem, you're going to find it actually works better in many ways than the 3.0 did. It certainly did speed things up, and it uses a little less memory than the 3.0 did. Marguerite, you have to learn to take the caps lock off. It makes reading emails much easier if you take your caps lock off. She has two questions basically in this all cap message. The first question is, can she transfer data from her old computer to her new computer, and the data is already on some flash drives, without using the built-in Windows Easy Transfer utility? And yes, you can. Plug in your little USB drive, go to My Computer, open up the removable disk associated with that particular USB drive, and then just drag the documents back into the new computer. That's all you have to do. And then her second question is how can she find out what Microsoft Works version she had on her old computer? Does not matter. Any newer version of Microsoft Works will open up all of your older versions of Works documents, so no problem there. Doris has a peculiar question here with two photos that seem to be named different things, or one should be named something different than the other, and I don't quite completely understand your question, Doris, but I think what I would do in your case is open up the pictures one at a time and open them in a editing program like Photoshop Elements or Corel Photo Draw, whatever you might be using to edit your photos. Open each one up individually and then do a file save as and name it whatever you want to name it, and put it in whatever folder you want to put it, and then close that particular picture, open the second one, do the same thing. That way you can sort out exactly what you need and put it in the format and the location you want. Leo has an interesting question where his backspace key doesn't work in Outlook Express. Apparently it works in other parts of his computer, and he says the delete key doesn't work either. With Outlook Express, there's really no way to reinstall it easily, but you can try one of two things, Leo. Number one is go into File and then Identities and create a new identity. And what that does is create a second kind of user for your Outlook Express. And you can even put bogus information in there as far as email servers and things like that. And just see if it also malfunctions in a new identity. If it does, then we know the problem is something in your system or with the keyboard itself. If it doesn't, then we know there's something wrong with your identity. Leo, depending on what's happening with the identity, when you create a new identity, we'll have to take another approach based on what is the result of that test. So if you're still having problems after that, write back and we'll answer that question as well. Ken was just giving me an attaboy. Ken, I've been around for the last almost 15 years on the web at helpmerick.com. Lots of great information there. I'm glad you found us. Hopefully you'll tell all your friends about it as well. Thanks. Lance, my phone number's on the website. Just search for phone number, or you can find me in the phone book as well. Thanks. Karen has an interesting question about her email. She had a problem trying to get into her email, and it turned out that someone had deleted her account. Karen, I've got a feeling this was not a hack job, but more of a internal problem somewhere at Comcast. I don't know for sure without knowing more details. That's why I use Gmail, and I also have my own domain name. And if you go to networksolutions.com, networksolutions.com lets you create your own email that you can control. This also brings up another good opportunity to remind folks to use very good passwords. Don't use passwords that can be easily guessed, and also don't use security questions, those little questions like what is my mother's maiden name, where was I born, and things like that. Try to have good questions for those as well to prevent this kind of a thing if it was an actual hacker type problem. But just based on the little information you gave me, I have a feeling it was just an internal error within Comcast, especially since they were able to actually find your mail at a certain point. Good luck. Thanks for writing. Thanks everybody for writing in this week. We'll be back again next week with another edition of Rick Answers His Email. Have a good day.